The same light painting exposure control that was used on the still life of the toys can also be done to portrait photographs. I've opened up a photograph of a model wearing hair extensions. The hair is the main product of the image, and we want this to stand out away from the background. I'm going to start by double-clicking on the background to turn it into a layer. Now I will take the layer itself and drag it into the new layer icon to create a second layer. So we have two identical layers. I'll turn off the eyeball on the top layer and make the bottom layer active. Now we want to go ahead and blur and darken this image. I'll start by going Filter, Blur. Instead of using Gaussian blur, I'm going to use the new lens blur filter. And I'm going to take the radius to about 25. And I have the noise set to 3, which adds a little grain back into the image, which prevents it from banding in the final print. Now that we have the blurry image, I'll turn on the top layer to see how that looks against the blurry image. Let's make that bottom layer still active. I need to darken it. I'll go into Levels, Command L, Control L on the PC, and I'll actually just go to the output levels and darken the image down. This makes it a lot less contrastier than trying to move it too much with just the input levels. I'll just move this a little bit, make a much darker image, about 2.5 stops darker. So we can see we have the brighter, sharper image on top of the darker, blurry image. With the top image active, I'm going to go ahead and create a new layer mask by holding the Option key, Alt on the PC, and clicking the new layer mask icon. This will put a black layer mask concealing that image. If I need to see that image at any time, holding the Shift key reveals it. You can see there's an X through the mask. If I Shift click it again, puts the mask back on. I'm going to go ahead and pick up the paintbrush, key letter B, and making sure that I'm on white. I'm going to use my bracket key to make the brush bigger. I've got the opacity at 100% and the flow set to 10%. I'm now going to use the pressure sensitive tablet to go ahead and start brushing the image in. I'm bringing in the sharper image on top of the darker image. Now I'm going to use a smaller brush by using the bracket keys to lower the size of the brush. And as I bring it in, I'm basically brushing in the sharp, brighter version of that layer over the darker, blurrier layer. Add a little more detail and sharpness in the shoulders, letting the edge of the body remaining soft. And I'm starting to get all the detail I need in the hair. I'm going to go ahead and turn off the eyeball on the bottom layer for a second, make sure we're getting everything. I can see here now that I'm missing some of the eye. I'm going to use the left bracket key to make the brush a little smaller and start brushing in a little more information around the eyes and the nose and the mouth. Make it a little bit larger now with the right bracket key and just very softly bring in some of this detail down in here. Obviously we need a little bit up in here. This keeps the edge of her body nice and soft, and just the areas we really need to be sharp are sharp. I'll bring in just a little bit under the neck so we don't have it too blurry down here. I'll go ahead and turn on the background layer again. And I think that's getting about what I need here. I'm going to leave it a little soft at the very bottom. This is a great way of taking existing images and adding a lot more mood to them with this subtractive light painting method.